They will not tell you what it really takes, because if they did, the world would collapse under the weight of its own excuses. Greatness is not gifted, it is forged, and the forge is not gentle, it burns. It breaks, it remakes, somewhere, someone right now is paying the price quietly. While the world sleeps, they're at war with their own weakness. They're up before dawn, bleeding into their vision, not because it feels good, but because the fire inside is more painful than the comfort outside. This is the price of greatness, not fame, not applause, not trophies, but silence, sacrifice, isolation, the willingness to go alone, to be misunderstood, to be doubted by the world but never by yourself. Thomas Edison failed over 0 times, not because he loved failure, but because he refused to quit until the world saw light. That's the price. Most people tap out after the first no. He stayed in the ring until reality bent. What separates the great from the forgotten is not talent, it's tolerance. The tolerance for rejection, for ridicule, for hunger, the discipline to hold the line when everything in you screams, let go. Andrew Carnegie started as a poor boy in a dirt floor shack, but he saw a kingdom when all he had was a shovel. He built one because he believed more than he feared. He saw further than his circumstances, and he paid the price. He sacrificed distraction. He sacrificed comfort. He earned respect in a world that had none for people like him. Because greatness doesn't care where you begin. It only cares how far you're willing to go. It asks, can you keep moving when the road vanishes beneath your feet? Will you keep climbing after every handhold breaks? The price is steep because the reward is eternal. When others are chasing comfort, you must chase clarity. When they gossip, you build. When they laugh, you study. When they quit, you endure. That's the price. No shortcut, no hack, no handout can buy it for you. Only sweat, only will, only time. Time invested in becoming the man or woman worthy of what they envision. You don't get greatness, you become it. And to become it, you will lose things. You will lose friends who can't see where you're going. You will lose hours of sleep while others drift. You will lose comfort, convenience, and ease. But you will gain something more powerful, conviction. The conviction that your life was not meant to be average, that the burning inside you is not madness, it's the mark of those destined to lead, to shape, to transform. Abraham Lincoln lost more elections than he won, faced humiliation, heartbreak, and despair, but he paid the price. He stayed in the fight long enough for purpose to rise from the ashes of his failure. He bore the weight of a nation on trembling shoulders because he knew the price of giving up was greater than the price of pressing on. And so you must ask yourself, are you willing to go where others won't, to suffer what they dodge, to believe when there is no evidence, just desire? That desire is your call. That discomfort you feel when settling is your compass. It's telling you you were not built for mediocrity. You were not born to blend in. You were born to burn bright. But brightness demands fuel, and that fuel is discipline. Every single day feeding the fire with action. Not motivation, not hype, but action, even when the results don't come, even when no one claps, even when you feel invisible, you keep going, because you know what they don't. That greatness doesn't show up with fireworks. It arrives like dawn, slow, steady, undeniable. It grows in the dark long before the world can see it. You are the architect of that light, and every time you choose purpose over pleasure, you add a brick. Every time you rise when others stay down, you lay a foundation. So if you want ease, walk away now. If you want quick success, look elsewhere. But if you want truth, if you want to know what it really means to rise, to reign, to matter, stay with me. Because this is the path the giants walked, and every step is paid for in full. You see them on the mountain, but you never saw the climb. You see the crown, but not the cuts. The world worships the result, but it forgets the grind. Because the grind is ugly, it's lonely, it's invisible, and that's why most people run from it. They want the shine, but not the scars, but the greats, they bear their scars like armor. because every one of them was earned in battle, a battle against procrastination, distraction, self-doubt, failure, and fear. They paid for those scars, and they would pay again. Henry Ford was mocked. They said horses were the future. He was told his dream of an automobile for the masses was foolish, impossible, but he didn't listen. He didn't wait for validation. He moved, because true visionaries don't wait for the world to understand them. They create a new world, then let others catch up. Understand this. You cannot build an empire with the habits of a peasant. You cannot rise with the excuses of the masses. And you cannot lead if you are led by fear. Fear is the tax the mind pays before it levels up. But most pay the tax and never go inside. They freeze. They overthink. They rationalize their dreams away. But not you. You were built different. You wouldn't be hearing this if you weren't. You feel it, don't you? That tug in your chest that says there's more. That burning inside that refuses to die. That's not fantasy. That's your future knocking. But it's not free. It will cost you who you are today. It will demand you become someone greater, someone disciplined, someone resilient, someone focused, because greatness only bows to those who refuse to bow to weakness. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job for lack of creativity. He was broke. Betrayed, laughed at, yet he kept building. Why? Because the vision in his mind was more real than the failures in his life. You think you're alone. You think no one understands. Good. That's a sign you're walking your own path. You weren't born to copy. You were born to create, and creation demands faith, not blind hope, but defiant belief. The kind that works without applause, the kind that shows up when it's raining, when it's silent, when it's hell. Because the greats don't wait for permission, they take responsibility. They know this truth. The world owes you nothing, but your future owes you everything, and it's watching what you do right now. So ask yourself, what are you building with your hours? Are you constructing a monument to your potential or digging a grave for your greatness with comfort and delay? Because the price is not paid in one day. It's paid in daily deposits, in early mornings, in hard choices, in the discipline to say no, when every part of you wants to say just this once. That is the real currency of champions, not likes. Not claps, not followers, but follow through, the ability to show up when no one's watching, to keep grinding when the feeling fades, to push when your legs tremble, your voice shakes, your hope thins. That's where character is carved, and that carving hurts, because it strips away weakness. It reveals the man beneath the mask, the woman beneath the weight. You don't need to be the best. You need to be relentless. You need to decide right now that the excuses die here, that the old version of you, the one who hesitated, who settled, who feared, that version is done, because the price of greatness is not just what you're willing to do. It's what you're willing to become, and becoming demands letting go of small thinking, letting go of cheap validation, letting go of the story you've told yourself about why you can't. There is no secret. There is only the work, and the work is sacred, because it sculpts your destiny. Do it tired, do it doubting, do it scared, but do it. Because one day, and that day is coming, you will wake up inside the life you built with today's choices. Let that hit. Every rep, every hour, every sacrifice. It's not disappearing. It's compounding. You think it doesn't matter. Ask the man who stuck to his vision for 10 years when everyone said he was insane. Ask the woman who wrote when no one read, who trained when no one watched, who gave when she had nothing left. They will tell you the price was high but worth it. So what now? Will you shrink? Will you wait for life to give you permission? Or will you rise and pay what must be paid, because the gate to greatness has never been locked? It's been waiting for someone who wants it bad enough to stop making excuses and start making history. History doesn't remember the comfortable. It remembers the courageous, the defiant, the ones who stared mediocrity in the face and said, "Not me." You think Abraham Lincoln didn't feel pain? He buried his children. He battled depression, he lost elections, but he kept going, because what he stood for was bigger than his suffering. His mission was larger than himself, and that's what most people miss. They chase goals, not missions. They chase titles, not transformations, but the price of greatness is not paid in trophies, it's paid in truth. What truth? That your mind is the battlefield, that your thoughts either fuel you or finish you, that every day you're being pulled by doubt or by destiny, and you must choose. Clarity is power, because when you know where you're going, distractions look like insults, and comfort, it looks like the enemy it really is. There is a beast in you, caged by years of playing small, tamed by teachers who told you to be realistic, silenced by parents who meant well but didn't understand, buried under expectations that were never yours. But you hear it now, don't you, that roar beneath your skin? It's not anger, it's potential that refuses to die quietly. You weren't born to exist, you were born to conquer, and not conquer others know. Conquer the inner you that whispers not today. Conquer the pull of laziness, fear, shame, regret. You want a better life, then become a better fighter, a fighter of habits, of limiting beliefs, of distractions disguised as entertainment, of opinions that try to shrink your soul. You want to be free, then stop handing out the keys to your emotions. Take back control, decide what you feel, decide who you are, and decide it daily, because success is not a doorway you stumble into. It is a fortress you build brick by brick in the silence. Ask any titan of industry. Andrew Carnegie didn't wait for good fortune. He forged it. He learned. He listened. He sacrificed. He surrounded himself with minds greater than his own, and then he elevated them. That's another cost of greatness. You must become teachable, not weak, not gullible, teachable. You must be humble enough to admit you don't know it all and hungry enough to learn it anyway, because arrogance kills more dreams than failure ever could. And pride, it's the mask of the insecure. Let that truth rip through your ego. If you want to grow, you must be willing to be wrong, willing to look foolish, willing to outgrow the old you every single day. That's what discipline does. It doesn't just shape your schedule, it reshapes your identity. It turns a man of excuses into a man of excellence. It turns a woman of hesitation into a warrior of decision. The price of greatness, it's waking up early when no one cares. It's showing up to practice when no one's watching. It's failing in public and rising anyway. It's investing time you can't get back into a future no one else believes in but you do. Because belief isn't a feeling, it's a commitment to hold the vision when the results say give up, a commitment to move forward when your legs are shaking, a commitment to trust yourself even when you don't recognize the person in the mirror yet. That's the metamorphosis, the breaking, the becoming, and yes, it's painful. Growth always is, because the old you must die so the great you can live. So if you're hurting good, it means you're alive. It means you're changing. You want the crown, carry the cross. You want the spotlight, train in the dark. There are no shortcuts. There is only the work, the daily work. And if you don't respect it, it will not reward you. But if you embrace it, if you make suffering your sculpture and persistence your paint brush, you will create something the world cannot ignore, a life of significance. So let them doubt you. Let them misunderstand you. Let them whisper and mock, because you've got work to do, and work is louder than words. Every legend you admire was once ridiculed, dismissed, misunderstood. They didn't begin as giants. They became giants by choosing persistence over pity, conviction over comfort, action over approval. Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination. Can you fathom that? The man who gave the world magic, rejected, bankrupt, betrayed. But he didn't retreat. He rebuilt brick by brick, animation by animation, until wonder itself bent to his vision. That is greatness, not the applause, not the empire, but the unshakable refusal to stay buried. You are not chasing a dream. You are becoming the kind of person who can carry it. And that is the price most are unwilling to pay, because it costs comfort. It costs your old identity. It costs relationships that no longer fit your direction. You think you can evolve without resistance. Nature doesn't allow that. A seed doesn't bloom until it breaks. A diamond isn't formed without pressure. A sword isn't sharpened without fire. So stop running from resistance. Use it, train with it, because the storm you're facing now is shaping the strength you'll need tomorrow. Resilience is not just surviving pain. It's extracting power from it. It's standing in the rubble of your failure and saying, I'm still here. It's using every scar as armor. Let the world see the cracks. Because the light doesn't get in through perfection, it gets in through the fractures. And what about purpose? That burning why beneath it all. Purpose is not a slogan. It's not a hashtag. It's not something you find on a vision board. Purpose is the reason you refuse to quit. The thing so deep inside you, it hurts to ignore. It wakes you in the middle of the night. It haunts you when you play small. It's the voice behind your ribs whispering, you were made for more. You don't chase purpose, you remember it. It's been with you since the beginning. You just let the world bury it under fear, deadlines, doubt, and distraction. But now you dig it out, with blood in your teeth and fire in your eyes. You want to matter, serve something bigger than your ego. Build something that will outlive your name. Because legacy doesn't begin when you die, it begins when you decide. Decide to live with such fierce intention that your existence demands to be remembered. Decide to build a life so full of meaning, the world feels it when you walk in the room. And how do you get there? One decision at a time, one disciplined day stacked upon the next, one act of courage louder than the fear that threatens it. That's greatness. That's the cost. It's the unseen grind, the early mornings, the late nights, the invisible hours when no one's clapping, no one's sharing, no one's praising, but you show up anyway, because the mission is real, and the fire inside won't let you rest. Don't you dare quit. Not when you've come this far, not when there's more in you still untouched, not when the version of you you're becoming is so close you can feel it breathing down your neck. Let pain be your proof. Let sacrifice be your anthem. And let every step forward echo with the truth that you are becoming someone no one saw coming. You are not chasing greatness. You are becoming it. You see the difference between those who rise and those who vanish into mediocrity is not talent, it's not luck, it's grit. Grit is when you keep digging long after the shovel splinters. It's when the applause fades and the critics scream and you still move forward. It's not pretty. It's not poetic. It's the ugly, relentless obsession with your mission. Henry Ford was laughed out of every room when he dared to dream of putting America on wheels. A gasoline engine in every home. Impossible, they said. But Ford didn't need the world to believe in him. He believed in himself and in the vision that no one else could see yet. So he endured the ridicule. He endured the failures. He built, failed, rebuilt again until the world had no choice but to ride with him. You want to make history, get used to being alone for a while, because the trailblazer walks without a crowd. The visionary moves through silence before the world sings their name, and that silence, it will test you. The silence will whisper, are you sure you're enough? It will poke at your wounds, at your past, at your insecurities, but that silence is sacred. That silence is the forge. In it, you find out who you really are. When the lights are off and the stage is empty, when there's no one watching, will you still give everything you have? That's the test. That's the price. And then comes the discipline. Discipline is the difference between desire and destiny. Desire gets you started. Discipline gets you there. Anyone can dream, but how many are willing to bleed for that dream, day after day, while no one believes it's possible? The disciplined man does not need motivation. He doesn't rely on the weather, the news, or how he feels. He moves anyway. He acts according to vision, not emotion. He is ruled by purpose, not mood. That's power. That's leadership. And you must become a leader of yourself. Before you build an empire, before you lead a team, before you earn the respect of the world, conquer yourself. That's the true battlefield. Your habits, your mind, your reactions, your laziness, your excuses. No one will see that war, but they'll see who you become because of it. They'll feel your intensity when you walk into the room. They'll recognize the force behind your words because you earned every ounce of it. You can't fake greatness. You can't shortcut mastery. You have to pay for it in discipline, in sacrifice, in time. But oh, the return on that price. The return is a life of meaning, a legacy of impact. A soul that knows it didn't just exist. It commanded existence, so stop negotiating with your potential. Stop letting fear rent space in your vision. You are not here to fit in. You are here to rise. You are here to build. You are here to change the damn world, and it all begins with a decision to pay the price of greatness. And when you choose to pay that price day after day, a strange thing begins to happen. Life stops happening to you and begins responding to you. Opportunities that once seemed locked away begin to open. Doors that were once closed now swing wide for the one who refused to quit, because the world doesn't hand power to the most talented. It bends to the will of the most unreasonable. Be unreasonable in your belief, unreasonable in your effort, unreasonable in your standards. The man who demands more from himself than the world ever will, he becomes untouchable. You think it's about confidence. Confidence is a side effect, a result. It's the natural consequence of discipline, repetition, and scars. True confidence isn't loud. It's not a performance. It's not a look. It's the calm in your bones when the pressure is unbearable and you still say, let's go. You see, life will not wait for you to feel ready. It rewards the ones who step forward before certainty arrives. Those who wait for the right time never begin. Those who create the right time, they build empires. Abraham Lincoln lost 8 elections. 8. He was mocked, ridiculed, heartbroken, but there was fire in his conviction. Because when a man is aligned with purpose, even failure becomes fuel. Greatness doesn't come from having a clean track record. It comes from never giving up. It comes from standing again even when your legs shake and the world says, enough. That's what most people don't understand. They think success is born from ease, that it looks like confidence and charisma and polished speeches. But real greatness, it's messy, it's bloody, it's forged in rejection and doubt and nights alone wondering if you're insane for still believing. You're not. You are not delusional for seeing more. You are awake in a world that has fallen asleep to its own potential. And if you're going to carry this torch, if you're going to lead, to create, to impact, then understand this. You must die to who you were. The version of you that needed comfort, validation, and consensus, he must go. Because who you will become demands more. He demands your discipline. He demands your time. He demands your hunger and the reward. It's not just the goal. It's not the money or the title or the applause. The reward is you, the man you become through the battle. Because there's something holy in building yourself from the ground up. There's something unshakable in knowing, I didn't inherit this. I didn't stumble into it. I created it from nothing but vision, willpower, and grind. That kind of power can't be taken. It can't be faked. It lives in your posture, in your voice, in the eyes that have seen the edge and walked through it. This is your moment, not tomorrow, not next year. Now, your future is not waiting for you. It is being built by every action you take or fail to take in this very hour. Greatness is not found, it is forged. And the forge is hot, relentless, and merciless to those who hesitate.